Hello there, I'm Joshua Cho and welcome to JR Productions. Today we're looking at the 88th Academy Awards nominations, aka the 2016 Oscar nominations. And like every year, I always go through the nominations and break them down as to like who I think will win, who I want to win, and who I think maybe should have been nominated. Of course, this is just pure speculation, but I have seen pretty much all the films, and and like really thinking about it through my taste and what I think should get it. Though of course this awards and every single awards isn't about which one's the best really. It's very political, and also there's very much a type of movie that is more Oscar-y. And though I think like in 10 years it'll be very different. I think in 10 years time we'll have voters that are more open to other genres and stuff, and the fact that Mad Max has got nominations is just like proof of what other genres can do that aren't normally Oscar-y. But why don't we get started? We're gonna start with some of the technical awards first, and then go into the other ones. Now, the edit of this will be a bit jump cutty and whatnot. Best visual effects: Ex Machina, which had fantastic visual effects. Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, and Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Now, out of these, Star Wars isn't gonna get it. Because, like, honestly, I thought the CG in Star Wars was too CG, and it was a bit distracting at times. Revenant possibly could for the bear scene alone. I mean, that bear scene is amazing, and what they do is that great. And The Martian has great visual effects. I think Mad Max could definitely get it, because Mad Max is, like, it's a movie that I think that they'll be willing to give it the award to more, because it's pretty much been topping a lot of top 10 lists. But if I had to say anything, I'd say Ex Machina, because the visual effects for Alicia Vikander's Ava is outstanding, and it's like I forget that it's an actress. I think that her body is actually a robot, and so I think like if Ex Machina is lucky, it could get that, but I think it's more likely to go to Mad Max Fury Road. Best film editing: Big Short, Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant, Spotlight, and Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Now, out of these, I'm thinking it's going Mad Max Fury Road. That film is crazy, and the editing is just insane in that. Big Short has really great editing too. So like, if Mad Max doesn't get it, I think it would be Big Short. Revenant, movie should have been shorter, so I don't really know. And there's a lot of long takes, so they might not see as there being as much editing, because they're kind of editing with the camera. And I think Spotlight is really well done, but I don't think we'll get noticed for this. And Star Wars, I thought it was edited too quickly, in my opinion. But you never know, they might just want to give Star Wars an award. But I'm thinking it's gone Mad Max or The Big Short. Best costume design: Carol, Cinderella, The Danish Girl, Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant. Now, out of these, I'm thinking it's either Danish Girl or Carol. I'm thinking more likely Carol, because it is a better film, and they usually lean more towards a film that they like more. And so I'm thinking it could go to Carol. As far as snubs go, Crimson Peak had the best costume design. Obviously, it was just lush and sumptuous. But because that film did get rather mixed reviews, yeah, I honestly think it has better costume design than all these films. But Mad Max could also take it if they're willing to give the genre, because everything's crazy but great. But I'm thinking Carol. Best makeup and hairstyling: we have Mad Max Fury Road, The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared, which is a movie I actually did see. I think I saw it in 2014, surprisingly. And then there's also The Revenant. I'm thinking it's called Mad Max, but it could go Revenant if they're looking for more realistic. But Mad Max just had a lot of makeup and hairstyling. Best cinematography: Carol by Ed Lachman, shot in 16mm, looks gorgeous. Hateful Eight, shot by Robert Richardson, shot on 65mm film and looks gorgeous. And we have Mad Max Fury Road, which was shot by John Seal, which was only Alexa, and it's stunning cinematography. And you also have The Revenant from Emmanuel Lubezki, shot on the Arri Alexa and the Arri Alexa 65, and is one of the most beautiful looking films you will ever see. And you have Sicario by Roger Deakins, who 13th nomination for Roger Deakins. He's not going to win, because this is easily going to Emmanuel Lubezki, and I'm fine with that. As much as I want Roger Deakins to win, I know that it's going to Emmanuel Lubezki because he did have the best looking stuff this year. There are a few films that I just want to mention, like Ex Machina, which had superb cinematography. Macbeth should have got like a cinematography nod as well from Adam Arkapaw. Best production design, Bridge of Spies, and The Danish Girl, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, and The Revenant. Now, I also want to say that Crimson Peak was snubbed for this because that set is absolutely stunning in itself as a character, and I think it had the best costume design and production design of the year. Unfortunately, the movie was not well liked enough by critics for people to really consider it as an Oscar contender. But I love that film, and I love the production design and costume design especially. But out of the ones we have, if they want to go for the obvious Oscar movie, they'll go for The Danish Girl. But I feel like this is Mad Max's to lose, so Mad Max will hopefully win it. But it could also go to The Revenant. Best sound mixing, Bridge of Spies, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, and Star Wars Force Awakens. I'm thinking this is going to Mad Max because I'm thinking they're just going to want to give Mad Max a lot of the technical awards. But Martian, Revenant also had really good sound design, and Star Wars was too, but I think Mad Max first, and then possibly Martian or Revenant, really, for sound mixing. And sound mixing is, of course, the difference between sound mixing and sound editing is sound mixing is everything that's recorded on set. While sound editing, which we'll go into now, is everything that's done in post. For best sound editing, we have Mad Max Fury Road, we have Martian, Revenant, Sicario, and Star Wars Force Awakens. Now, like I said, I think they're going to shove all the technical awards to Mad Max, and I hope they do. But Martian, Revenant, Star Wars, Sicario, they're all good. But I'm thinking Mad Max is the key winner for this. Best original song. Now, I haven't heard all these songs, but I've heard some of them. And so 50 Shades of Grey gets a nomination with Earned It. Racing Extinction gets a nomination for Manta Ray. And Youth has one for The Simple Song 3. The Hunting Ground, Till It Happens to You. And Writings of the Wall from Spectre. Now, I think it's going to go Writing the Walls from Spectre. Definitely not one of people's favorite James Bond themes, but I think it's the only movie that most of the voters would have seen, and so they'll give it to it for just being a Bond film. Best original score, Bridge of Spies from Thomas Newman, Carol from Carter Burwell, The Hateful Eight from Ennio Morricone, Sicario from Johan Johansson, and Star Wars Force Awakens from John Williams. I don't think Star Wars should have been nominated for this at all. I thought it was a decent John Williams score, but it really wasn't that great in my opinion. I would replace that with Inside Out. Inside Out has one of the best score of it. It might be the best score of the year, and it wasn't nominated, which really annoys me. But The Revenant also had a great score as well. But out of what's there, I think The Hateful Eight will get it for Ennio Morricone. And if not, I'm thinking it's going to Carol, which is absolutely beautiful. Best animated short film. Now, I haven't seen any of these, but I'll just list out what they are. And so we have Bear Story, We Can't Live Without Cosmos, Prologue, World of Tomorrow, which I think is actually on Netflix, so I might go check that out. And Sanjay's Super Team, which I did see in front of The Good Dinosaur, which was alright. Best live action short film, Everything Will Be Okay, Ave Maria, Day One, Shock, Stutterer. I haven't seen any of these, so I have no comment. Best documentary short subject, Body Team 12, Chow Beyond the Lines, Claude Lands, Man, Spectres of the Shoah, A Girl in the River, The Price of Forgiveness, Last Day of Freedom. Like I said, I haven't seen any of these. Best documentary feature. Fortunately this year I've been really slack with seeing documentaries, and even when I do my top 10 lists, there won't be any documentaries on it, because I think I've seen like one or two from this year, which is my fault. And I really do need to watch more, but for the nominees for Best Documentary Feature, we have Amy, Cartel Land, The Look of Silence, What Happened to Miss Simone, and Winter on Fire, Ukraine's Fight for Freedom. Out of snubs, even though I haven't seen this film, I heard The Hunting Ground is absolutely spectacular and is very important as well. But I think out of these, it will go to Amy. Best foreign film. I also should have watched more foreign films this year, but they just weren't as available to me. But for best foreign film, we have A War from Denmark, Embrace of the Serpent from Colombia, Mustang from France, Son of Saul from Hungary, and we have Thebe from Jordan. Now, Son of Saul is the big foreign film of the year, so I think it's obviously going to Son of Saul. Best animated feature, Anomalisa from Charlie Kaufman and Duke Johnson, Rosa Tran, Boy and the World from Ali Abreu, Inside Out from Pete Docter and Jonas Rivera, and Ronnie Del Carmen was also a co-director, but he wasn't a producer. So we also have the Shaun the Sheep the movie from Mark Burton and Richard Starkzak, and When Marnie Was There from Hiromasa Yonebayashi and Yoshiaki Nishimura. And so this is obviously Inside Out's win. It's one of my favorite movies of the year, and it is a masterpiece. It could also go to Anomalisa, which is also great, but I think it's got Inside Out. But Anomalisa is a good backup. Best adapted screenplay, we have The Big Short, Brooklyn, Carol, The Martian, Room. Now, as far as snubs go, the biggest snub here is Aaron Sorkin for Steve Jobs, which was a fantastic script and the dialogue is amazing. But I am kind of happy that Drew Goddard got a nomination because his work on The Martian is great. Room is a fantastic script. If I did have to knock out any, I wouldn't know which one to choose, to be honest. It will most likely be Carol or The Big Short, but Room could possibly win as well. Now for Best Original Screenplay, we have Bridge of Spies, Ex Machina, Spotlight, and Straight Outta Compton. Out of these, I want Alex Garland to win so bad because I love Ex Machina, but I also think that Inside Out is I like more as a movie than Ex Machina, so I think Inside Out could definitely get a chance. But if it's not any of those, I think we'll go Spotlight because Spotlight is a very important movie. But I'm hoping Alex Garland, but I'll be happy if it's Inside Out as well. Best Supporting Actress: Jennifer Jason Leigh in The Hateful Eight, Rooney Mara in Carol, Rachel McAdams in Spotlight, Alicia Vikander in The Danish Girl, and Kate Winslet in Steve Jobs. Now I think this is going to go to Rooney Mara, mainly because she's actually a lead character, and I actually think Carol is her movie, so I don't get why they didn't put her as lead actress, other than that they think they'll be more likely to win with Cate Blanchett. But if it's not Rooney Mara, which I really hope it is, it'll go to Kate Winslet for Steve Jobs, because she is brilliant in that, and I love her in that. Alicia Vikander should have been nominated for Ex Machina, which is a way better movie than The Danish Girl, and I think she gives a better performance and a harder performance in that film. Best Supporting Actor: Christian Bale in The Big Short, Tom Hardy in The Revenant, Mark Ruffalo in Spotlight, Mark Rylance, Bridge of Spies, and Sylvester Stallone in Creed. Now, I think this is Sylvester Stallone's to lose. I think he's going to win it. And there's not much competition. I thought going into this that there would have been a lot of people to choose from, but from the list they have, though I can't think off the top of my head who they would have had for it. Sylvester Stallone and Mark Rylance, actually. Mark Rylance could have a really big chance because a lot of people love him because he is a stage actor. Best Actress: Cate Blanchett for Carol, Brie Larson for Room, Jennifer Lawrence for Joy, Charlotte Rampling for 45 Years, and Saoirse Ronan for Brooklyn. I don't know what Jennifer Lawrence is doing here for Joy. I mean, she was alright in the film, but it was definitely one of her weaker collaborations with David O. Russell, and I think this is going to go to Brie Larson, to be honest. I think Brie Larson is phenomenal in Room, and I really hope she does win because I just love Brie Larson, and I just hope she gets the recognition that she's been deserving for a while, and I think she could get it. If not, I think it will go to Cate Blanchett for Carol, but I'm hoping it's Brie Larson, but I'll be fine if Cate Blanchett wins it. Also, Charlotte Rampling in 45 Years is fantastic, so if she got it, I wouldn't complain either. Best Actor: Bryan Cranston in Trumbo, Matt Damon in The Martian, Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant, Michael Fassbender in Steve Jobs, and Eddie Redmayne in The Danish Girl. Now, let's start with snubs, and for me the biggest snub is Jacob Tremblay for Room. This kid was 8 years old when they would have, or 7 even, when they would have filmed it, and he carries the whole film. He is phenomenal in it. He's a revelation. And I'm annoyed that he can get nominated, but Oscars aren't really into recognizing children for performances because then they kind of like think maybe it was more of the director or the people who was playing against that got the performance out of it, which is kind of true, but he should still be have been recognized. They recognized Quavanzo Wallace for Beats of the Southern Wild, so I don't see why they didn't nominate Jacob Tremblay for Room. And also, I would have loved if Abraham Attah from Beasts of No Nation would have got nominated because he gives such a mature performance with such a young actor. But out of these, I think it's Leo's to lose. I think he will win it. It's not really that competitive of a year once you knock out Jacob Tremblay. He's finally done it in a year when there's not really that much competition, so he'll finally win. A lot of people are going to go crazy over that, but I kind of don't care about Leo winning an Oscar, to be honest. Best Director. First off, let's start with snubs. Todd Haynes was not nominated for Carol, and I think the direction that is so precise and superb. And I'm surprised that Ridley Scott didn't get a nomination, not because I want him to get one, but because The Martian has just been such a favorite with voters and lists and stuff lately that I was just surprised. But I'm glad Lenny Abraham got nominated for Room. You also have Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu for The Revenant, Tom McCarthy for Spotlight, Adam McKay for The Big Short, and George Miller for Mad Max Fury Road. Now, Adam McKay is the biggest surprise of this one, but I think he definitely stepped out of his comfort zone, which they're kind of rewarding, but I would have put Todd Haynes instead of him. The Revenant's well directed, but the film itself leaves me rather cold, and I don't want Alejandro to win. Tom McCarthy does a great job in Spotlight. Lenny Abraham is great in Room, with Room, but I want George Miller to win this film so bad, and it would just make me so happy if he did. So I really want George Miller to win. So I just want him to win so bad. So I'm thinking George Miller. If not, it'll go Lenny Abraham or Tom McCarthy. Last but not least, we've come to the big one, and that is Best Picture. Now, the Academy can normally nominate between 5 to 10 movies, and I never get why they don't nominate just 10, because being nominated for Best Picture is great exposure for smaller films that a lot of people wouldn't have seen, but unfortunately this year they only nominated 8, and I think you could at least put one more, and the biggest snub is Carol. I think Carol should definitely be on this list. It's not even in my top 10 of the year, but out of what is usually an Oscar movie and what's nominated, I think Carol definitely should have been there, and I also think Inside Out should have been nominated as well, even though of course it's going to win Best Animated Feature. It's great when they nominate an animated film as well, and I think they could have put that there. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty into who's actually nominated and who will probably win. So first up we have The Big Short. We have some Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. Now, up until recently, I didn't think The Revenant had a chance, and I honestly don't think it's that great a movie. I think it's really good, but it's not great enough to win, in my opinion. But the Academy seems to love Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu, and so they could give it to him. I hope they don't, but they could. But I think from what's nominated, I think it should go Spotlight or Room. Just as far as what's important and what the Academy usually leans to. But deep down in my heart, I want Mad Max Fury Road to win. And I think out of what's nominated, it's definitely the best movie that's there. So why can't it get Best Picture? It's a fantastic movie with a lot to say, and it's just brilliantly crafted as well. So I really want Mad Max to win, but I think it'll go to Spotlight, maybe Room. So those are just my thoughts on the nominations of the 88th Academy Awards, and of course it's just my thoughts and opinions. I could be completely wrong and completely off, but these are just my thoughts, and especially since I've seen pretty much every movie here, these are just my educated guesses and just my thoughts according to what I like this year as well. I'm actually going to have my top 10 list up next week sometime, so you can check that one out. There's a lot of great movies from last year. Last year was great, and I can't wait to talk about honorable mentions. I'm going to do an honorable mentions video as well, so I'd love to hear what you think will win different awards, and I just think it'd be great to just kind of communicate through comments, so feel free to comment below. You can also go to my Facebook page, like that, comment there, follow me on Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe, guys. I'm just Rich Roll, this is J Productions. I hope you enjoyed my breakdown of the Oscar nominations for 2016, and just get out there and watch all these great movies.